Hi, I'm Errol H. I'm from Three Viola Place, East to Pietermaritzburg. I just want to share a bit on my relationship with Stephen Nikki Naidu. Yeah, I met him in 2013. At that time, I was all going through my own things. I was messed up, but I decided not to change my life around and give it to the Lord. And Stephen was on the same path. And at that time, I had my own way of thinking and what I thought I was doing or thinking was right to me and doing. And meeting Stephen brought a whole lot of clarity in my life, where even in talking and in whether I'm be having a bit of a dispute with someone, or some people will call it arguing or whatever, never to speak, and come and think that you're right in a conversation, I should say, but look at what is right, because there is the right way and is what I would think is right. And most of the time in life, what we think is right is not the right way, and that's what he actually taught me. And at that time too as well, I was also employed, unemployed, I was a semi-skilled welder. You get small jobs here, small jobs there, and Stephen also played a big role in my life. This is from 2013 when we met in coaching me in becoming a qualified welder, and in not looking at life in a sense that everything is blocked because you never get an apprentice. So uh, things are not working out, you don't have finance to do things. You always encourage me that there's always a way to get to always look at the bigger picture, to start now, that even though it might look like a difficult task, in the end it will pay off. You need to focus yourself. At that time too, my finances were bad. You're in debt. He coached me through spending finance properly, in paying your accounts off one by one, because sometimes you want to pay everybody off, especially when you're owing, people too as well. Just come and pay them all off when it's coming to time, when you're all working and stuff, and you can, and you want to just pay, and you say, take it. He taught me a way of patience, in paying it off slowly, because you just want to get rid of everything so we can live. He said, pay it off slowly, because there's a lesson also in that too as well. And yeah, he got me through that till I was debt free. His encouragement, even in my working life, that we until I got qualified in welding. And not only in that, it actually went further. We actually done some courses beyond that in quality assurance, quality management, uh, and diploma in quality management too as well. So it took a lot of time, because sometimes at work I was working, I was a contractor at that time, and I used to tell him that I cannot find time to study because I'm working all the time. And he asked me, what do you do in your lunchtime? And I said, hey, me, I sleep or I talk to friends. It's a resting time. We're working hard. And he said, you need to dedicate that time into studying, because that's the time available, instead of dedicating it to something that's profiting nothing. And at that time, it was right for me to sit and, to have a good lunch break or sleep and stuff like that. But it didn't add no value to me. So, it was also a difficult task to come off working and sit down and open up and try to read and to study and stuff. But when you start to do something, at the end, you get used to it. You understand? And yeah, it becomes a natural thing of you, of what you want to do. This is all coming from him. He's understanding that he has granted me too. Even if you look at life, a baby don't just start walking at first. If it crawls, it lays down first, and if it doesn't make the attempt to get up and to walk, it will never walk. And it might have been that difficult attempt. If it looks at it and says that, hey, there's no other way, it's too difficult, then that child will never walk. So, but when a child does practice, it becomes easier, 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 till one day, as we can just walk and we find it very easy to get up and to do it. That's how it will become. So he taught me to invest in the right things. And yeah, it has actually come to pass, these things that he has taught me, and it has been encouraging to my life in the way I handle situations and in the way I also talk to people, because I'm never thinking about what I think is right, because sometimes I can think what is right is wrong. You understand? It can be wrong but to me it's right, because it brings comfortability to me. Whether it can come, because we had a conversation once. I'll try to make this brief, where he asked me, how would you like to break up with a girl? Would you like to go to a girl, or would you like to message her? And I said message, and she can message me if a girl, because it's vice versa. He asked the question, she can message me, and he said common sense is that you should go and stand in front of a girl. And I was stubborn at that time, I was hard. It was my way, and there's no right or wrong in this way and stuff like that. So my mind was in a knot, but actually the right way was to go and give the person the due respect and tell them in front of them, which I found difficult because you don't want to take on the difficult things. So that's why I run away to the comfort zone where a message will be better. So in life, what I'm saying, there's a right way and there's a way that seems right to us. There is not a right way, but there is actually a right way to follow, and that's what you actually taught me. And through all these teachings in life, I've also went out and done my own things. He's also been there to encourage me, to put me back in the right frame of mind and way of life. And I can say my mind is totally in a different change, the way I see things from when I was in 2013 and how I saw things and how difficult things are. When I look at situations now, I always know that you must try every option. You must dedicate yourself if you want to actually get there, through his teaching too as well, and not just look at, I never get an apprentice in life, or I never get that and I'm stuck, I'll never get away, and there'll never be a way out, when there is actually a way, but we don't like to look at it too as well, because sometimes we find it difficult. And that has been my thing, because you look at it and you say, no, that's too long, why must I go through it, but the next person never go through it, they got it easy. But we don't know that there's people that are also, which we hear a lot, that there's people that are also going through much more and much worse, they can be doing much better than us too as well. So yeah, he has encouraged me a lot in life. And to where I am right now, I'm actually a qualified welder working at UCL Mill. I was a contractor. I'm now permanent. I thank God, and I thank Stephen for his encouragement and for being there as well. And even situations at work where I face, I'll also come back to him. And I could be talking to someone at work and stuff, and we could have a difference of opinion. And I'll always come back and fall and look at the teachings that he taught me, because I could be feeling that, I feel this way about this, but I could see that the right way, it's not the way that I feel, because I feel comfortable here. But at the end, I'll choose that right way, because it's not about what I think is right. It's about what is right in life to do. So yeah, he has taught me a lot, and yeah, I give him enough honor as well as a coaching life, in coaching people and in encouraging them and changing their situations, from financially to spiritually, growing to speaking to people, to understanding things, and to standing for what's right. For that's what he also taught me in the midst of things, to also stand for what's right, even though it's a difficult task. Yeah, and as I said, I'm a qualified welder now. I also have done courses through Stephen, uh, working at UCL permanent. This is actually staying in Dalton. This is actually the company house where I am living. And yeah, this is all through Stephen's coaching and teaching you the right ways in life too, to follow too as well. Yeah, so I give thanks to him, firstly to God above all, and thanks to him for everything that he has done. I would recommend him to any person in life, to teach, to train, to be there as a friend, with a spiritual father, or as a guidance, or as a coach, as he's a life coach now. That time he was giving me life coaching, even though he wants a life coach, that brought some great results in my life too as well. So yeah, and every time I ever went and I left in life, it's because I was not following his also instructions that he gave. Because as I said, sometimes we want to follow what we think is right, because it's the easy part, and then we're always going around in a circle. Yeah, but when I do turn and I look at his advice, because sometimes I don't want to come to him, because I also know, hey, he's gonna give me a difficult task, and I also know it's gonna be hard, but it always pays off too as well. That's what I also know, because he's following the right way, not what we think is right, but what is right in life, and what can get you also ahead in life, not only in achieving things, but also ahead in your own personal and your mindsets, and how you think and how you go about things. To think different, to speak different, to understand things different as well. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, I'll give him double honor in his life coaching, as a spiritual father, yeah, and as a person that is always there. But not only is he coaching when he's speaking for himself, but he's actually there for you, and he's speaking out of love, that you might grow, yeah, and do better in life, yeah, and at the time you and with the time you have on earth too as well. So yeah, this is Errol Harry. Big thanks to Stephen, God above all. Yeah.